Jesse Vaughan Sr., stationary earth scientist. I'd like to chat with you about a little thing called curvature of the earth and the lack thereof. I have to say to you, you are part of a mass delusion, a mass hysteria.
That's the funniest thing I ever heard!
And you need to open your eyes up, man, because that's not the world that you live in. The world that you live in is a flat plane.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
All right? When you get up in that airplane, when that airplane takes off, and you're glued to the back of your seat, man, because it's going up. And then you feel that shit, right? When it gets up to its designated altitude, it levels off, and it flies straight. Never do you feel any of the dipping of the nose every few seconds to keep from flying off into space.
That's the stupidest idea I've ever heard.
I'd like to talk to you about a little thing called the Antarctic Treaty. They all got together, 50 nations got together and agreed nobody should be allowed to go anywhere on Antarctica independently. You can't do any independent research, independent travel of Antarctica. You can't go to Antarctica.
That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard.
The treaty says that you can't go past the 60th parallel. The 60th parallel is a complete circle that goes around the landmasses of Earth. So is Antarctica a continent at the bottom of a ball, or is it a circle around the landmasses of Earth?
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I'm trying to get this straight here. Does Antarctica, is it a continent that's one piece of land, or is it a circle that goes around us?
It's the most stupid theory I ever heard.
Now, having said that, you can't even question this treaty until the year 2041. Why is that? Why would that be? Why do they not want anybody going anywhere past the 60th parallel?
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I'm telling Mom.
You will be met with one of the 50 countries that have signed on to this thing, one of the 50 nations that have signed on to this treaty. One of their Navy fleets or Marines or whatever, one of their ships will meet you anywhere you get near that 60th parallel. You will be turned around at threatening of sinking you.
That's the most horrible thing I've ever heard.
There's these guys from Iceland. They had permission to go on an expedition to Antarctica, or at least to the 60th parallel. When they got there, they were turned around by one of the 50 fleets, and when they got back to their port, they were arrested anyways by their same government that told them they could do it, because they were contacted by the UN and told to arrest those guys.
I think that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
So you do the math, do the research on the Antarctic Treaty, and see what you find, and you'll be amazed to find that you, me, nobody can go past the 60th parallel.
That is the dumbest thing I've heard said today.
You can't get anywhere within 1,000 miles of it.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.